Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Combat Sports Today. I'm Saeed. I go by the MMA Fool. I am joined by somebody that he still looks good because obviously, I mean, only 12 seconds was the knockout. It could have been earlier, obviously. If it wasn't for the 10 count, it could have been like a 2-second knockout. Anthony Lionheart Garrett out of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. How are you, sir? How's everything?
I'm doing really well. Yeah, doing just fine. Like you said, it went quick, so unscathed, no bruises, no scratches, no nothing. It felt good.
Yeah, it was. It was your opponent was LeVar Johnson. You fought over the weekend over here in Los Angeles. Incredible punch. I think Dan Margliotta, who was a rev, was kind of like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Even he was caught off guard, and but you could see when when LeVar's on the floor, his arm was like like stiff, kind of like you see the NFL players, or when like a knockout. When you see somebody's hand go stiff, it's over,
Yeah.
And then the count, and then that was pretty intense. How does it feel like to stand on the opposite side, like seeing LeVar there, and like I know a lot goes through your mind, like you just like it happened so fast, but what were you feeling standing across after that?
I mean, I knew he was out when he fell. I saw his eyes closed. So I obviously stepped away, looked down again, started cheering. But then when I heard myself, I was the only one cheering. I calmed down and looked back in concern for him. And I saw him still, like you said, stiff, and his eyes were open. I actually got scared and a little emotional. Because it's not personal. It's it's professional. We feed our families with this stuff, and I wanted him to be okay. So I took a knee and prayed for him in the moment, and I wanted him to get right back up. And then luckily within a couple of seconds, he shook his head and came to and sat up, and I felt a lot better about it. And I was just glad he was okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's like the best. Obviously, like, it sucks what happens. It's part of the sport, but like that's my favorite part about like the mixed martial arts, like where like you do like, oh, like it kind of like grounds you like after it happens. And like obviously like there's some fights that go like longer distance, and there's people that end up getting cuts like nasty, like where like it opens up. Obviously you don't want anything to happen, you want a clean fight, but it's part of the sport. And obviously it's crazy. And then before that you had another knockout, 16 seconds, and it was John Orr.
Yes.
So your two fights at BKFC have been less than 20-second knockouts. That's pretty it's pretty impressive. Obviously, like no knuckles is crazy. I mean, no knuckles. Bare knuckle is insane.
No gloves, yeah.
But that fight was to me, look, I think there was every fight on the card was a knockout except the main event. And it was in your hometown, right?
I'm from Kansas City. Yeah, I took that one on 3 weeks' notice too. So that was short notice. LeVar was 3 days' notice, and both of them under 20 seconds, and they were incredible, almost unreal, both of them, the way they feel, and just a lot of praise to God on that one, keeping me safe, and then also keeping both of them safe, that they were both able to get back up and be just fine afterwards. So it's good. It's good. Yeah, for sure.
And then you've been fighting for like almost a decade now, going on to next year, how have you seen the sport like from where it was at when you started? I don't know if you were doing like amateur stuff or way before that, but like your recorded in 2015 was where was the last I could trace. And what have you seen, like, where you're at now, like, bare knuckles? You fought for a couple of promotions. You fought for Bellator. You fought at LFA.
So I actually, not many people know about this. They told me they have video footage of it, but I did one of the tryouts that was in Kansas City. I think it was like right before COVID, if I remember right, or maybe during COVID. I'm not sure the exact time frame, but Chris Lieben was there. He held mitts for me. I actually showed Chris before the fights the photo of us that was taken from that. And he was like, "Oh, I remember that. I remember you now." And I'm like, "Cool, man." I was like, "That's awesome that you remember me. Like, you're one of my favorite fighters, like ever." And I had tried out there, and Sean Willock. Am I saying his last name right? I always butcher Sean's last name. Commentator. Yeah. Sean remembers it really well, and they had me hit that punching pad that Sam Shoemaker hit. And I hit like a little bit less than Sam, but I weighed way less at the time. I was walking around at like 240. I was modeling full time and still fighting. And I used to model. I know I looked chubby Saturday night, but 3 days notice, everyone, 3 days notice. Like I was eating pizza and hamburgers and just celebrated my birthday and my girlfriend's birthday. So I was drinking a little bit and I look chubby. That's on me. I'll fix it. But
3 days notice. It doesn't count on 3 days notice, man. Come on.
tell everybody, shit happens. And but yeah, I did the tryout. So I've been watching the sport since its birth. And I got tickets to see Joey Beltran defeat Marcel Stamps, I believe was the guy's name. And I got to go backstage with Joey, talk to Joey. I actually want to take this moment to thank Joey because he gave me some pointers that I remembered all the way till Saturday night. You know, how to train your knuckles, how to keep a high guard, how to, you know, punch correctly and everything. And I also want to thank El Bandito from the Kansas City card because backstage he taught me some really cool shit too. And yeah, I couldn't have done it without those two guys and, you know, my fight team and my students and everybody. So it was just super cool. But I've watched it since the birth and I love it. It's super interesting, super different, and it's as real as it gets. As the UFC used to say, BKFC is a little more real with that, you know, bare fist hitting your face. Yeah.
And you've seen it now, like it's you're seeing it because there's so many promotions that are they're coming up now, bare knuckle, and some being bought out, and it's growing. You know, it's some people want to see action. You know, it's a lot of times the grappling gets obviously like no disrespect to grappling.
Oh no,
you know,
yeah.
But just the sport is where it's at right now. You know, like even influence boxing, like all that stuff. Like people just want to see people get knocked out. Like, how do you feel about influence boxing?
I mean, it is what it is. You know, they're as long as they're putting in the work and they're showing respect. Like Jake Paul does train. He does work really hard. I know he's kind of a douche sometimes, but we all love a good douchebag. He's a good person on the inside. And I know people that have met him. He's a good guy. I've heard great things. And but he puts the work in. So as long as he's showing respect to the sport and putting the work in, I give him all the props in the world. I mean, he's a great athlete. He, you know, looked good. I know Tyson is older, and Mike Tyson's one of my heroes. So fuck him for beating Tyson. But it's good for the sport. I think it's good for business, and it looks clean as long as he puts the work in, and he is. So good job on that for sure.
Yeah, the business part of it, like a lot of people don't see, like he has to actually sell. Like the fights are not going to sell themselves, obviously. Like unless you go out and knock out people in less than 20 seconds, you know, then that's a whole different story. So like you tried out for them for your fight against John Orr. Did they reach out to you? Like how did they reach out? Or
they knew us and they reached out. And I have kind of a track record of I don't give a fuck who I fight. I've taken really dangerous fights on short notice against like Jimmy Lawson and Jordan Heiderman and Marcelino Nunes. I don't give a shit who I fight. I'm going to swing. I'm going to try to knock you out. Like Jimmy caught me with a good hook and dropped me. I almost knocked out Jordan Heiderman and Marcelino Nunes, and they took me down and submitted me. So, like you said, all respect to the grappling. I love grappling. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu under one coach, and then a purple belt under Steve Crawford, who's from Kansas City. So props for them for beating me on that. And grappling's important and love it. But yeah, the knocking people unconscious, like you said, is the real deal for sure.
Yeah, that's where like you get the highlight reels, and like usually you'll be on ESPN or something, you know, which is like the pinnacle of sports. That's insane. So, how do you feel about like the promotions now? Like like a lot of the MMA promotions, like I want to say, for example, PFL and Bellator. You seen like a lot of stuff with contracts and all that. Like, I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that?
I don't think it's a smart move for anyone because right now, how the business is working, if you let guys go fight for other promotions, like love Dana White, good job. But what he did with Francis was stupid. If he would have let Francis go box and then come back and fight John Jones, we'd be looking at the biggest fight in UFC history, not just the heavyweight division, in history. And it may not happen because of, you know, Daddy Dana, as they call him, being kind of a dum-dum. You know, drop the ego and let the guys do what they want and make money, because this is how we feed our families.
Exactly.
You know, you change someone's life with stuff. And Francis Ngannou is one of my heroes. Everything he does is for his people, for his family, and for himself too. He came from nothing. He's a good human being, and I love that he got money, and I love that he got paid. And I personally want to see him and John fight, because it'd be
fight to make
interesting. I love Tom, but I don't want to watch that. I want to see Francis and John. You know, I do. Like, Tom Asplin is an incredible fighter and love what he does, but everybody wants John and Francis. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like the contracts. I think you should let guys do what they want. And just like Jake Paul, he's outspoken about that. Let guys do what they want and make a living.
Yeah, I'm glad RIZIN got involved with boxing. Hopefully we can see something like that, like in MMA, you know, Saudi Arabia and stuff. So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah. Everybody wants that fight. I mean, Conor left, you know, Conor went to fight McGregor and he came back and he still got some big fights, you know, with Poirier. I don't know if did he fight Khabib after Mayweather? Yeah, it was after Mayweather. Yeah, so he came back and he got the fight that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope.
That, would have been incredible. You know, it would have been. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't even fathom that, you know, like it's every time you see John Jones and like every time you see Francis, it's like fireworks, you know, like a knockout.
Yeah, you know that would be like, it's like King Kong versus Godzilla. It'd be incredible. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you still train like other like you said you're a blue and a purple belt? Do you still like train consistently like other mixed martial arts, or are you just like concentrating more on your boxing? No, I do. I was literally sparring Muay Thai like 2 weeks before, because I had a student, Andrew Cortez. Shout out to you, Andrew. Good job. He ended up losing the decision, but he did great. And he's just an amateur, wonderful guy. And I was sparring with him and other students in Muay Thai. So I stay active at all times. You know, I work at 2 boxing gyms here in Dallas, one called Title Boxing Club in Uptown, and then Ding Ding Boxing. So I'm always active, always busy. I'm a personal trainer. Just like I said, I was a little fat because I had 3 days notice, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I can have pizza too, guys. Give me a chance.
Hey, but if you work out and you're allowed to eat, you know, unless you're like on a camp where you know you have to like cut your weight and like you have time to do it, obviously. But come on, guys, give us a break.
I'm a dad. Just break.
Yeah, see there. Come on, man. At least you're ready for Thanksgiving. You know, like Thanksgiving and unless you get a fight before Christmas, I doubt it. Unless you want to, but I mean, you're ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to see you in there again.
I can fight again in 6 days. Just call me. Put me in, coach, as I say.
And like, man, so those 2 knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
One more. It doesn't even have to be a knockout. One more win. Do you see yourself like an impressive win? Do you see yourself asking for a title shot, or wait one more fight?
I would want to get my feet wet more, and that's just humble me, obviously. You know, I do what Jesus said and just be humble at all times. And I'm humble enough to say I need 4 wins before I can challenge anyone for a title. I mean, I would want another contender like LeVar. Like, LeVar was scared the shit out of me. I'm not afraid to say it openly in public all day, every day. He's an intimidating guy. He's big dude, and standing in that little ring with him, like, I need more experience. Everyone knows that. I need more experience. I know I've been fighting for a long time, but it's different. LeVar did hit me. I don't know if you saw it. I felt it. I closed my eyes. I was like, don't. Yeah.
That's the only downside about like winning fast, because you like in that sport, like you obviously want to get in there and get a couple, you know, get hit a couple times in the face, kind of wake you up, or just like, okay, let's keep going. You know, maybe get to a round 2, see what you're made of. Huh?
My girl doesn't think so. She was like happy crying after I FaceTimed her after, because she couldn't come with me. She was at my last one in Kansas City. She cornered me for it. And that was amazing, dude. Having her in my corner, and my best friend Deshaun, it was incredible. And she couldn't be with me on this one because she was down in the Bahamas on a cruise with her family. But we FaceTimed immediately after in the locker room, and she's crying, sitting there with her brother. Shout out to Reggie. And they were both like, "What do you mean? You should want to win really fast." I'm like, "No, guys, you don't get it. Like, I love them both. They're not fighters, but you got to get hit. and you got to know what it's really about. And besides letting someone do this to me, which I have, I'm crazy motherfucker. I like to brawl and bang. Everyone knows that. Who knows me. Getting hit by LeVar is a different animal. I felt it, and I literally pulled back and winced. I can't do that against people. I can't. He could have caught me too. That's the truth. But I threw because I've trained it, and I knew what to do in the moment. That's how it paid off. Thanks be to God for real on that one. If my instincts wouldn't have kicked in, he probably would have slept me. That's the truth. We all know we're heavyweights. You know that. So we all love heavyweights. But yeah, I need more practice before I fight for a title. At least 2 more wins. They can be impressive or decision wins. I don't care. I've earned it a little bit in my book. So I need to be humble and say 2 more wins. I'll do a title shout out or call out.
Yeah. That's what's up. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Love that. Love being humble, like it's like you said, you gotta try it. You can't just do that. Man. Yeah. So like who's your, like you mentioned Chris Lieben, the crippler, you mentioned Francis. Who's your favorite fighter right now?
Favorite fighter
if you have one. Because everybody tells me, oh, it's me. I'm like, all right.
No, God, no. No. I can pick any sport.
Anything, yeah.
Canelo.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Canelo. I mean, I'm half Mexican. You probably don't know that.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, my mom is a Marin, and her Oropesa on her mother's side. So there's a lot. Like she's full. My mom's full blood. My dad's Irish, German, and like Norwegian. So that's where this comes from.
Wow.
But yeah, I love Canelo. Like he's not just an inspiration. He's an athlete. I do some of his workouts. That's probably why I hit so hard, not to kid like at all. I follow him and I watch his workouts and I replicate them for me and my clients. I stole from you, Canelo. But yeah, I have a lot of Mexican pride on my mom's side of the family. My grandfather, Pedro Marin. I don't know how to pronounce his city he's from, but it's like Tenecha, somewhere in like south, like all the way down there. Yeah, it's like a small farming village. I should have wrote it down before I talked to you.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's probably like in Oaxaca or Puebla, somewhere down there, right?
Yeah. Really far down there, yeah.
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 Closer to Guatemala. That's dope, man. That's wow. I would have never guessed that, bro.
He's I'm white.
Well, that's a good combination. I mean,
yeah.
Irish, German, and Mexican. That's you got the.
Yeah, that's why I can move a little bit for a big guy.
That makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you have a favorite fighter of all time? Like,
so like back in the day,
when you were younger, who you used to like? I mean, look up to, I guess.
Mike Tyson, 100%.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was a WWE fan growing up too, and when he reffed Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin, that was my shit, man.
Yeah, that's
Mike Tyson. What the fuck? Yeah.
I think everybody that's in combat sports or watches combat sports. I used to watch WWE or WWF back in that day. I think we all came from that line. Do you see yourself, no matter what happens, obviously with BKFC, do you still want to keep fighting, or like is this your last hoorah? Like, do you still feel like you can go in there and put it down no matter what?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably try to fight till I'm in my 40s. To be honest, I really look up to Glover Teixeira as well, and he was winning in his 40s, and he had a really good title defense. I know he lost, but he was 42 when he lost to Hill.
Yeah. And
if he can do it, I might as well try. He's probably a little bit better stuff, but I'll try.
I mean, you can still get better. You know, that's the thing. You can always get better in this sport.
True.
There's no.
It's better on. That's my hard work and God giving me some skill and some leeway to get in there and get better. But I have put the work, and I think I have gotten better for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I mean, I can't wait to see you back in there. Like now I'm excited. Hopefully you get to enjoy the holidays and you get a little longer training camp. Give the guy a little time so he can set up.
Give me watch what I can do.
Thank you for coming on again. Can you just explain to me where you? I was thinking maybe Van Damme, but where did your nickname Lionheart originate?
So that was my old nickname, Lionheart. One of
Okay.
my gave that to me back in Kansas City. He said I looked like Jean-Claude when I was younger and thinner, and that
Okay.
Lionheart's actually one of my favorite movies that you mentioned, Jean-Claude.
Same.
But I went through some shit kind of during COVID, and I went 14 months without seeing my daughter. And I told a friend I would talk about it. I got suicidal, but I got help. So guys, if you need help, it's not unmanly. Go get fucking help. I checked into a hospital for 7 days. KU Med saved my life for real. And I got all the help I needed, got all the Band-Aids to learn how to cope with everything, and got my head right. And it took a while. It took like 2 years, but it was worth it. And you see where I am now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found Jesus again. And it's kind of like a testimonial, but I had a dream, and I'm probably gonna get emotional about it. He told me everything was going to be okay, and he put his hand on my shoulder in the dream, and I woke up crying in tears, and I dedicated my life to him, and I wanted to be alive for my daughter and be a better person and stronger. And I can see his face, like, still just, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to be okay. And yeah, like I said, I got the help I needed, and I dedicated my life to him, and that's why I changed it to the Warrior of Christ. And there's a meaning to it behind me. A man of God is raised in a religious family and keeps the faith and spreads love and Jesus's philosophy through the world the best that he can. But he doesn't have the hiccups that a warrior of God or Christ does. And the warriors are the ones who get beaten down by either poverty or situational distress, and they bounce back and keep moving and continue as well, just as the man of God, the warriors of God or Christ, continue to spread his word and his message through anyone and everyone they meet. That's why I wear Jesus Saves in John 3:16 on my fight hoodie. I've worn this 2 times in a row, and I will probably wear it forever. You know, if I ever fight in UFC, I want John 3:16 on my fight shorts, and I want, you know, Jesus Saves, just like John Jones had the cross on his fight shorts. You know, shout out to John for that. That was really cool. But yeah, you know, he saved my life, and so did the people at KU Med, and that's where the second change came from, is the Warrior of Christ. Yeah.
The
Yep.
Warrior of Christ. I love that,
Yep.
man. I love that story, man. You got me a little teary-eyed too, man.
It's
all
a
good, man.
it was, you know, I don't know if you're a father, are you?
Yeah, I have 3 kids.
I here for, I swear, for 14 months, and it hurt, man, and shit got dark. And my mom helped save my life, and 2 of my best friends helped save my life. Yeah, it was real. It sucked and it hurt, but when I, you know, look at her face now, and I talk to God, I'm good. I'm good. And then my girlfriend now, Anna Lato, she's my rock. I love her. She's Albanian too. She's fucking from, like, you know, scary part of the world. Like, wonderful people though. Wonderful people.
Oh,
But
they are. Yeah, yeah. Albanians
yeah,
are cool.
wonderful people. She's from the capital there. It's beautiful. She's, you know, she's a good person from some really good family, and she keeps me grounded. She knows what she does. We've talked about it. She's my rock for sure.
Yeah, wow, man. That's very inspiring. Like, a lot of people don't. Thank you for sharing that with us, man.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't see that part of the sport. A lot of times, like, you get obviously generic questions. People want to know about when you're fighting and stuff like that, but people don't see what happens behind the scenes. What fighters have to go through, like, fight in real life, have real jobs, they have families. You know, like, it's different now. Like, the social media era, you know, like, everybody talks smack under people's posts. You know, like, it's hard. It's hard. Thank you so much for sharing with that, man. That really made my day. And I was struggling with some stuff, so I really needed to hear that. So
yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm here to help everyone. I've helped people in quiet, and I think, like, to mention something too, I was scared to take the fight against LeVar. I'm man enough to say that. And a voice told me to do it. It was like something told me, like, I got your back. Like, so I'm going to be open about it more. Like, promise. I'm going to talk more about it. I'm going to try to help people. I'm going to try to, if I helped you, God bless. And I love that. And I want to help other people, like, you know, we need help. Men do, women do. Everyone needs to talk about it. I mean, we're all human. In the end, we're all human.
Exactly. We all beat the same. We all get knocked out if we get hit right here.
All good.
um, I mean, it's an honor to have you. Hopefully, we get fight news from you soon. Can't wait to get you on the show again. If you guys ever need to talk to someone, you guys could my @'s right here. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Reach out to me. Anthony's got his socials too. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep in touch. I'll get your number from Phil, and yeah, we can't wait to get you on again. Even no matter what happens, you know. Hopefully, before your next fight, before you start cutting weight, or after, you know.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you for having. Thank you for coming on again, and wish you nothing but the best. And just keep doing you, man.
I will. Yeah, thank you. God bless, man. I appreciate it.
God bless.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.